What's up, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time as a musician myself, and today is the return of Final Fantasy X FFX. This is a pair of songs called Auron's Theme and Besaid Island, I think, from the channels Nobuamatsu and Masashi Hamazu. So two different composers on this. That's exciting. Requested by Pookster Prime, Grimalinx, and Ifrit. In case you didn't know, I already said not too long ago that I am going to play this game sometime this year, probably at the end of the year. So yeah, don't ask a bunch of questions as to who, why, where, when. Just know it's sometime this year and it's going to be there. That's all I have for you right now. No other information besides that. So yeah, that goes without saying, so don't spoil anything. And I've been hearing the soundtrack now for about 2 years, and still nothing has topped my favorite song, which is Wandering Flame. And my second favorite would be Battle with Seymour, whatever that's called. But they're all good. They're all good. Xanarkin's good. Everything's good. Anyways, this is Auron's theme. Am I saying that right? Auron? Auron? Okay. Final Fantasy X, Auron's theme. I have to assume this is just a character or boss. That immediately reminded me of what's his name? The character in 9 with the red hair. I can remember Salamander, but I can't remember the... It's something red related. I'm drawing a blank right now. Auron. This reminded me of Auron's theme for some reason. Whoa, this is weird. Piano and choir. Sounds a little technological for some reason. Gosh, I miss hearing vocal synths. You don't hear that anymore. The technology now just allows for actual vocals. But I miss when vocals sounded digitized, not gonna lie. It's just a cool sound to it. This is a strange theme. Is it a character or a place? Is Auron a place? Digitized acoustic guitar. That's sick. This song has like a very conflicting nature to it. It's like nice, but a little dissonant. Oh, it's almost over. Oh, I just heard the bass. I just noticed the bass. Sorry, there's so much to pay attention to. How is it almost over already? Wow, that was mysterious. That was one of the most mysterious songs I've heard in Final Fantasy. I'm not even joking. That went by so fast. Okay. Before we get into the next one. I don't know what or who Auron is, but considering it's Auron's and it's got that, I don't know the grammar here, so you guys are gonna have to like fill me in. God, it's gonna sound so bad. But I'm willing to embarrass myself. Is it a possessive noun? When there's apostrophe S, it belongs to someone, you know. So, but I think that's a person. So I think it's Auron. Like I think Auron's a person. It's their theme. Where I think if it was like a city or village, it would be like, it would say so. I don't know. I just embarrassed myself. But whatever. I haven't. You know, whatever. Anyways, The first thing I thought of when I heard this was one. It definitely sounds like Nobuo Matsu, so that's very interesting to me. Not super interesting, but the fact that it's well, the reason I'm saying that is because with Final Fantasy X, I know that it was the first collaborative effort. So what I'm saying is, if I heard this without knowing that it was Nobuo Matsu, I would have guessed it was him. That's what I meant. Even though I can clearly see it's like his channel right here. So one thing though, I've been seeing this for a while, is the credits here. It says music by Junya Nakano, Masashi Hamazu, and Nobuo Matsu. I don't think I've ever heard anything from Junya Nakano. And if I have, I don't know. Please fill me in. If any of the FF10 stuff I've done has, I don't recognize that name. And if I have, it's super minimal. Has Junya Nakano done anything else from Final Fantasy? It's just not a name that I've like recognized too much. So that's all. The other thing to bring up was that this reminded me a lot of Auron immediately. That could just be from the fact that I just did a FF9 video right before this. Well, an FF9 song in Final Fantasy XIV. So maybe I just have like that inspiration. But when Auron comes on screen, when you first meet him, you hear kind of like a similar vibe, like a kind of 80s pop, but not. It's mysterious. It's a weird song, but it's cool. It's one of my favorites in that game, actually. This to me sounded very odd. Like the acoustic chords, for example, very nice, very like hopeful almost. The rest of the song sounded not mean or bad. It just sounded curious. It sounded very like philosopher. It sounded very explore, like very think. I guess the word brain and like think and mind and all that comes to mind. It just felt like I was, you know what I was thinking of for some reason? I had like the imagery of like Bill Nye. And when I think Bill Nye, I think of like education, which I think of like science, which I think of, you know, all that. So I was thinking like when I hear do 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 do, I'm thinking like thinking music. Does that any of that make sense? So it felt kind of weird. It wasn't like a specific mood. So if this is a place, then it's a very strange place. If this is a person, this is a very strange person. That's what I'm getting at. Very cool, and there was a lot to catch in that. I'd have to hear that again because I didn't catch the bass until like the last 20 seconds, and that was really, really nice. Felt very prog as well. Okay, so that was Auron's theme. Also, by the way, I'm seeing this like this. So it's in Japanese. I don't know what that says. I'm guessing theme of Auron or something. Also, in case you missed what I said earlier and you're just skipping all the dialogue and just watching the reactions, just throwing it out there again. I'm kind of just throwing rhetorical questions out. You know, I am playing this eventually, so kind of don't want to know some things. This one, oh my gosh. This has 1 million views. From Masashi Hamazu. I'm a fan of Masashi Hamazu. I wasn't expecting 1 million views on this though. This is Besaid, also known as Besaid Island. Okay. Continue to not answer any questions. This is Besaid. Am I saying that right? Besaid. Man, the soundtrack for this game particularly is so diverse. Ow, that was loud. I know it's early, but I've never heard Hamazu sound like this. There's a certain sound I associate with him, and this is not it. Although I think this was his debut to FF, if I recall correctly. Interesting, the percussion is across stick. That's when the stick is just hitting the rim, and not the actual like snare. What is the vibe here? There's a snare. Big difference now. I would never in a million years guess this is Final Fantasy. It sounds like Animal Crossing or... It sounds like a toy store or something. This is an island? Again, it's getting dissonant. Whoa. There's a lot of clashing tones in the soundtrack. I have no idea what mood this is supposed to give off. Both of these songs, I have no idea what's supposed to be happening. This is a very unique song in Final Fantasy in general for me. But I can tell you right now that it's a standout. It has the feeling of a standout. I'm gonna remember that for the rest of my life, you know what I mean? This is so bizarre. The chords in the background almost don't make sense to the melody that's happening on top. This is cool and weird. I have another minute. I'll try closing my eyes and just imagining what's happening here. I'm drawing a blank. I'm gonna correct myself on something. I'll say it after the song is over. It's the first thing I'm gonna say. If I'm being honest, to me this sounds like it's so specific, but I'm just gonna let it out. It sounds like a stage select theme in like a Wii Sports game or something. It sounds like I'm just navigating a menu in the most childlike game there is. I don't know how else to put it. Alright, we're fading out here. There's a bunch of reverb on that percussion too. What was that? Dude, okay. Okay, first things first. I want to correct something which may or may not be conflicting, why it was conflicting in my head. So this one is called Besaid, or however it's said. But also there was another request that I'm not doing today that it's in the backlog. That one was called Besaid Island, and that was from 10.2, which I'm not doing here. So I guess I just kind of like clumped that imagery together, but for all I know in 10.2 that is just a completely different thing, and it's just not related that much besides the name. So at first I was thinking, okay, maybe it's just an island theme, but this is a different game. This is just 10 by itself. So I don't know what's going on. Every now and then on the channel there'll be a song that just totally like throws me for a loop, where I'll have nothing to say. And by nothing to say, I mean I'm just gonna sit here and silence, you know? But I mean, like, it's mind-boggling to... I mean, I'm grateful. I'll say that. It's kind of a side tangent, and by side tangent, it's only gonna be like 20 seconds. But I'm very grateful that I can still do this all this time later and still have stuff like this to throw me off and just basically show the like unpredictable nature of video game music and just how all over the place it can be, right? So there's that tangent. So it's really cool, you know? I hope that, well, I hope it never comes, but the day that I start predicting stuff and just like see it way ahead of time, it'll no longer be fun, and there's really no point doing it anymore. So, yeah, I'm grateful for songs like this, is what I'm saying. Now, speaking of which, when I first heard Final Fantasy X, I can't remember the name of the song at the moment, but it was like the intro. There was like a stadium, and it was a really rock sounding song, like bump bump, bam, bump bump. That was my first impression of FF10, right? Very rock and kind of prog-ish. As I've heard this game throughout the past 2-3 years, it's given me kind of the same feeling that FF8 gave me when I decided to play that game. When I decided to play FF8, I wanted to play it because of how weird the soundtrack was. It was kind of all over the place. And I'm not just making like a blanket statement, because a lot of games can sound all over the place, but FF8 really did. You know, there's stuff that's really intense, there's stuff that sounds like spy music, there's jazzy like Rhodes piano everywhere. It's just, you know, the parade sounding stuff, it's all over the place. It's really strange. And then the ballads and all that other stuff. Battle themes are cool. 10 is kind of giving me the same thing, but in a more broad sense. It's like even more diverse. I've heard the rock stuff at the beginning. I've heard Wandering Flame, which is completely like atmospheric gold. I've heard the immense Nobuo prog stuff with the Seymour theme. What else? Xanarkin with the like amazing ballad piano, which is like one of the most memorable melodies I've ever heard. The last song we just heard was super confusing as well. It had this happy yet not cocky, but like just weird nature to it. And then this one, I can't explain what's going through my head when I'm hearing this one, but it's something along the lines of like childlike, toy store, Animal Crossing, whatever all these things are. That's what's going through my head. Like something very probably not what's happening here is what I'm getting at. And I'm probably just overthinking it, but that's what happened with this kind of song. It was just strange. You know, the cross-stick percussion with the reverb on it, so it has like this very sound. The snares coming in later, the little like everything was just kind of, I don't know, but I like it. This is the kind of stuff that again is making me like reassure as to why I'm playing the game. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Anyways, at the end of the day, I'm just really grateful for stuff like for both these songs. Because again, reassures why I'm playing it eventually, and it's just always going to be unpredictable here, and I keep forgetting that because, well, I don't keep forgetting, I keep getting reminded of it, and I think it's just really special, you know what I mean? There's thousands upon thousands of video game songs out there, and it's because of stuff like this that it just keeps me going. That's all. So yeah, just keep tabs on the VOD page and you'll see some updates. I can tell you right now for sure, for those wondering when I'm going to play, it's definitely not going to be until like the latter half of 2025. So somewhere between fall and winter. That's all I can say for now. That's it. Okay, cool. I'm not sure if I have many requests for FF10 left, but I'm sure I'm going to have to listen to them all before I play it. So that does not mean, by the way, that is not an excuse for people to just start throwing in requests. That is not a loophole. In fact, I'll even go as far as to say that don't request any more FF10 after watching this video. Whatever's there, I'll do, but don't start throwing stuff in there. It's not an excuse because that adds a whole lot of work. Anyways, thank you to the requesters. Let me know about Junya Nakano. I don't think I've heard anything from them, at least at the moment. And last thing. Hamazu, this totally threw me off. This does not sound like what the Hamazu that I know, which isn't saying much. I haven't heard much of him, but it's just I've never heard this style from him, and that's really, really cool. I like the diversity. Okay, now I'm gonna leave. Auron's theme and Besaid. 10 strange. Thank you to everyone that you see on screen. I couldn't be here without them. And thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse in the auditorium. Take it easy.